AI slop is already being weaponized for very nefarious purposes as a US man pleads guilty to defrauding music streamers out of millions using artificial intelligence and bot programs in the first ever case of its kind involving music fraud. Let's get into it. Michael Smith, age 52, charged after flooding platforms with thousands of AI songs and boosting them with bots. A North Carolina man has pleaded guilty to defrauding music streaming platforms and his fellow musicians out of millions in royalties by flooding the services with thousands of AI-generated songs and using automated bots, quote-unquote, to artificially boost the number of listens into the billions. As part of a deal with federal prosecutors in New York's Southern District, 52-year-old Michael Smith pleaded guilty on Friday to conspiracy to commit wire fraud. The case against the Cornelius, North Carolina resident is one of the first successful prosecutions of AI-related fraud in the music business, which is being hammered by fake music that threatens to swap streaming services and deprive earnings from legitimately human musicians and copyright holders. And yeah, this has already been happening in plenty of fields of creative expression. Go watch my Tilly Norwood videos on AI actors if you want a perfect example. Michael Smith generated thousands of fake songs using artificial intelligence and then streamed those fake songs billions of times, U.S. Attorney Jay Clayton said in a statement. The millions of dollars Smith stole was real. Millions of dollars in royalties that Smith diverted from real, deserving artists and rights holders. Smith's brazen scheme is over as he stands convicted of a federal crime for his AI-assisted fraud. Smith was charged in September of 2024 with fraudulently obtaining more than $10 million in royalty payments by amassing as many as 661,440 streams daily between 2017 and 2014, yielding annual royalties of over $1 million. $1 million a year. Jesus. Then, U.S. Attorney Damian Williams said the defendant had stolen millions in royalties that should have been paid to musicians, songwriters, and other rights holders where those songs were legitimately streamed, and it was time for Smith to face the music. As one ex-commentator by the handle of Tukey pointed out after the plea deal was announced, Smith had used AI make the music and the audience, and had made $1.2 million a year for music no human had ever actually listened to. And this kind of goes back into what I was saying about the importance of a finite resource. AI actively makes certain things non-finite, as in infinite. And when resources such as this are infinite and also extremely easy to mass produce, that doesn't make it good for creators to take advantage of, that just makes it good for scammers and malicious bad actors to take advantage of it. Musicians and the music industry, the ex-user added, now has to fight songs that don't exist being listened to by people that don't exist. So yeah, a dead internet theory is not a theory, it's just an actual thing now. Under the terms of his plea agreement, Smith now faces up to 5 years in prison and the forfeiture of $8 million. The case against Smith highlights a growing problem for the music industry that had largely recovered from the Napster music piracy era of the early 2000s, only to be faced with an AI-based threat to revenue from music streaming platforms such as Amazon Music, Apple Music, Spotify, and YouTube Music. Under their business model, which musicians have long complained results in subsistence earnings, except for a few big stars, they are recompensed from a pool of funds proportionate to their stream. But AI-generated music and AI-related schemes to boost plays divert funds from musicians and songwriters whose songs were legitimately streamed by real consumers. The United Kingdom government recently abandoned plans to allow AI companies to use copyrighted works without permission, a proposal strongly opposed by thousands of artists including Elton John, Dua Lipa, and Paul McCartney. The issue of generative AI music has placed a spotlight on Suno, a company with 2 million subscribers that allows users to turn out AI-generated music that is disrupting the act of creation. The French streaming service Deezer suggests that 97% of people cannot differentiate between human-generated music and that made by AI, including the now 60,000 fully AI-generated tracks delivered to the service daily. According to the U.S. trade publication Billboard, Suno generates 7 million songs a day, which equates to a streamer's entire catalog of music every 2 weeks. Much of the output is passably similar to existing human-composed music, but like most AI production, reads as mass-produced without artistic risk or depth. Suno's chief executive, Paul Sinclair, told Billboard earlier in March that he was conflicted. Truly, every single day, I'm conflicted, he is quoted as saying. This shit is complicated. I want to make sure there's whole future generations of the beauty of art and music and the ability to build careers around it. Are you conflicted? But yeah, man, this apparently is a very monumental moment in criminal history. And honestly, I hate to be a doomer here, but if you think this is bad, you're only going to see more cases like this in the future where people weaponize AI to try and get rich quick off of cheap scams. Like I've said, AI floods all creative mediums, but there are certain portions of these creative niches that people don't pay attention to or really take the time to focus on when it comes to artificial intelligence-based corruption. And I feel like the music scene is definitely one of those underlooked areas. And courtesy of people not paying attention or just probably not caring, and this is what happened. But yeah, good riddance. Put this guy in the slammer. Honestly, I don't think he should only be in for 5 years. Only 5? The guy stole almost $10 million. He should be in the slammer for way longer than just 5. Like, I think that the government needs to set an example for what happens when you try to use AI to get ahead with cheap scams. This guy should be, the guy's 52 on top of that. Put him in the slammer for a decade. That's what I think. You gotta set an example so clowns don't try performing more scams with AI. Because I'm telling you right now, as the years progress and AI gets more and more advanced, it's only gonna get easier for people to screw others over using artificial intelligence. And just in case you don't believe me, take a look at the case of DragonCon, where an AI artist, quote unquote, tried to sneak in and have his own booth where he was trying to sell his AI-generated slop. People immediately caught on, and then the police escorted him out because he refused to take his junk and get out himself. A vendor under the name of Oriana Guerrez Art was escorted out of DragonCon 2025 because they were accused of selling AI images as original art over the weekend. Guerrez Art was located at the A10 booth in Pop Artist Alley, and according to photographer Pat Loika, after the complaints came in, he was asked to present the process video and sent in an AI video. The move provoked widespread comments on social media, with footage of the police arriving being widely shared. The ouster of the artist was widely hailed as a victory for humans. Apparently the guy had like a little bitch fit on Instagram, like he cried at everyone but tried to like make it out like he was above all of it at the same time. But that's irrelevant. That doesn't matter. I just want to focus on my point here. And my point is this. Like the higher bodies, like not just government bodies, but all authoritative figures need to get their shit together and start paying attention to what people are doing with AI. Because its ease of access and the lack of actual creatives wanting to take the time to use it out of pride clearly only means that only thieves and parasites and bad actors are going to try and make use of it to do very malicious things. But yeah, those are my thoughts. What are y'all's? Whatever it is, be sure to tell me in the comment section, and maybe drop a like and subscribe just for me. That's going to be all for this video, boys. This is Blacklight Jack signing out. You guys have a good one.